In this video, I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of different entities that you can choose for your New York City or state business. I would tell you that everybody's circumstance is unique, and before making a final decision, to speak to an accountant that has experience with New York City or state businesses, so you can make sure that you're absolutely minimizing your taxes, because that is really one of the main reasons when forming a company. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the choice number one is a limited liability company, otherwise known as an LLC. An LLC can be formed with one owner, what's known as a sole proprietor LLC or disregarded entity, or it could be formed as a partnership where you have multiple owners. Okay, one of the advantages of an LLC is as a one owner LLC, it could operate as what's called a disregarded entity, where you not required to file a tax return, a business tax return, and you report all your income on your personal return, and that saves some record keeping. That saves you, some fees for hiring a professional to prepare your business tax return. Makes it easier, but at the same time, it does have some pitfalls. One of the challenges of an LLC is that you get stuck many times paying a lot more Social Security taxes. In addition, you have to be very disciplined and make sure that you pay estimated taxes throughout the year, because if you miss some estimated taxes during the year, you have to pay some substantial penalties. So that could be a real challenge. And again, it does require discipline. And also, when forming the company, there is a challenge in the fact that you have to lay out more money. You have to publish. They require this in order to have sufficient protection, when forming your LLC. And in addition, you would have to also pay New York City business tax when your business earns over $100,000. So you have to keep that in mind. The other choice that we have is an S-corporation. An S-corporation, one of the big advantages, big known advantages, is the fact that you save lots of money in Social Security taxes. Also, it allows you to deduct business expenses that you otherwise wouldn't be able to deduct fully with an LLC, such as pension expenses directly from the business and health insurance, which end up being deducted directly from the business. Also, in addition, you get to kind of have a situation where if you don't pay taxes during the year, and if you pay it all at the end of the year, you luck out in the fact that they consider it as if it's paid on the first day of the year. So that's really a big advantage. Also, if you sell merchandise, you're able to many times ship out the merchandise out of the city. As a New York City business owner, in that case, you're able to save money on the New York City business tax. One of the disadvantages is that it does cost extra to file a tax return. You would usually need to hire an accountant, and you would have to pay New York City business taxes at a rate of 8.85%. The next choice is what's known as a C-corporation. A C-corporation, for most businesses, it would really not apply. One of the big disadvantages of the C-corporation is the fact that you have to pay double taxation. In New York, you have to pay somewhere around 35% tax. Then when you take out the money, you have to pay tax again. But in many circumstances, there could be reasons why someone would want to be a C-corporation. One of the big reasons is that you get to deduct medical expenses and other fringe benefits that you wouldn't be able to deduct with an S-corp and LLC. Also, if someone is a very high earner, and in many cases they're a doctor or a lawyer, it could be beneficial if they were C-corp. What they get to do is they get to take a high salary and minimize their New York City, or even bring down to zero the New York City business tax. So that is a really big advantage. And at the same time, you would end up incurring some additional Social Security and Medicare taxes on the salary that you would have to take as a professional. So overall, I've covered all the different entity types. And like I said, I think everybody's situation is unique, every circumstance, and I would advise before making a final choice, to consider all options, and hire a tax professional who's familiar with New York City and state taxes, so you can make an informed decision that saves you lots of money.